Hey, what's up, everyone? Just wanted to quickly let you know, give you a heads up that my video is in black and white on purpose. It's kind of to pay tribute to the Thor Love and Thunder when Thor went to go save the kidnapped kids in the Shadow Realm where Gorr took them and everything was black and white. So just trying to pay tribute to that. So it is intended. So enjoy. What's going on, everyone? It's the People's Envoy Updog here with you, and today is the release of Gorr. He's going to be coming out today, later today, and I just want to go over the quick character breakdown for you on Gorr. So let's see what he's all about here. So first up, for the ISO, let's just talk about ISO real quick. He has a lot of mechanics where he clears charges, revives, a lot of stuff. Clears a lot of stuff. So, I didn't get to test him at really low stars. I got to test him at 5 stars here, as you see. So, it may be a case where you might want to have him as a skirmisher if he's low stars, just so that he makes sure he clears those key mechanics, I guess you want to call it. So yeah, skirmisher might be needed. I would start off with Raider though, because he does have the new stats, right? The new base stats. So hopefully he does it okay. But I would start with Raider if you're seeing that he's not clearing revives, the charges and other things that he does. Then I would switch him to skirmisher, just until you get him to about 5 stars, because at 5 stars he was doing pretty well. So let's start with the passive. Passive is always a good place to start. So he gains charged on spawn and on any death. So that means enemy team or his side, his team, he gains more charges. He has a mechanic like Black Bolt and Kestrel. If anybody's killed by him, then they can't be revived. So that's really nice too. I guess, nah, I'd still go with the skirmisher. I was just thinking, like, oh, wait a minute, maybe he won't need skirmisher, but I think it's better to have it if he's low stars, if he's not clearing things. I would try a few matches in war to make sure he is clearing it, and then kind of go from there. That's an easy way to test to see if the mechanics are working at low stars. So if he has 4 or more charge, he's going to attack the most injured non-summoned enemy. And it ignores taunt and stealth, so that's good. And he doesn't attack with a basic, he attacks with a special. So the ability, or whatever the special does, we'll go over that here in a second, that's what he's going to attack with. Normally, the characters who have like a mechanic like this, they just go off their basic attack, but this is pretty cool where he does his special here. Gain some extra focus. If he has charge, he can't gain bleed. Same for the whole Annihilator team if it's in arena. So, and he lowers the assist chance too. So he's like an Echo. He's like let's see, like Luke Cage. I think has like a lot of bleed resistance, or maybe it's Mystique or something. That's a long time ago. He's got a Kestrel type mechanic. He's got like a passive out of turn damage, dealing damage type mechanic too, like Kestrel as well. So lots of great things just in his passive. So let's go over to his ult here. Now his ult and his special is available on turn 1. So I was, in my testing, I would say probably 95% of the time you want to use his ult every time on the first turn. But there could be cases where his special could come into play on the first turn instead. So, but let's go over the ult here. So, if an enemy has charged, any enemy has charged, he's going to gain speed bar. He's going to attack everybody for piercing. And this is where that skirmisher comes into play. Clear charge, clear defense up, evade, and revive. So, and this is why you want to almost always do the ult first turn, because it'll give safeguard to himself and the whole Annihilators team. So that's amazing. if there happens to be a battlefield effect on the enemy side. So right now, that would only be the Mark of Mephisto and the, I can't remember, Nova Force or something, whatever Nova does, his battlefield effect. So if there's either of those, that'll clear that away, and it's unavoidable. So always love unavoidable attacks; they're great. So yeah, that's why you want to do the ult first. 95% of the time, maybe even 98% of the time, 99% of the time. But yeah, great opening move for him. So then here's that special where the very small percentage of the time you may want to open up with this. It is a 3-turn cooldown, so that's nice. I can get it quite a few times if the match goes long. The reason why I say maybe this move on turn 1 is because it's an ability block. Gorr does go first on the Annihilator team. Like if you have a full Annihilator team, he's going to go first. So that's always nice. If he's got 129 speed, so he's a lot faster than most characters. I'd say probably the 95% of characters, maybe 90% of characters in the game. So yeah, it's always good to get an early ability block on somebody if you're able to. So that might be a case where you want to use a special first, but it's nice that he has both available to him on turn 1. This also clears charged and revive once, so that's, again, it's subject to a resistance check. So that's why you may want to look at Skirmisher, but like I said, I would do Raider first, do some more attacks, do some against like a Darkhold, against even like an Annihilator's team. Like a Silver Surfer, he has the highest resistance in the game right now, so if you can have somebody in your alliance do like a Dorm Silver Surfer on defense just to kind of test some things out, might be worth seeing what you can get done there. And then another great thing about his special is it clears all stun and ability block from his Annihilator team or Symbiote, so it's going to be interesting to see if we find a use for him in the raids, in the bio lanes, or in Crucible with Hive Mind 2. That'd be great. Now this one's not unavoidable, but it cannot be dodged or blocked, so that's always a good thing to have too. And kind of like with his basic, really isn't that much, really not much to it, which they're trying to simplify the kit, so that's probably why this is the case here. It does clear charged again though, so that's really nice. Defense down to piercing. I don't think he has any. Okay, this one's just base damage, it's not piercing, the special, but everything else is piercing, so that's great. So as far as T4s go, I'm gonna recommend the passive, ult, and special, all 3 of them. And I'd probably say the ult is going to be first one you want to do if you're limited on T4s. If you can only do one, you want to do the ult first, and then probably the passive second, and then the special third. I'd say the ult is probably essential. The passive is really nice to have, and so is the special. So if you can afford all 3 of them, go for it. Basic, I wouldn't bother. You'll hardly ever see me recommend a basic T4. And then as far as investment goes, what I'm going to do is take him up to gear 18, level 100, and stop right there for the time being and see if we need gear 19. That's kind of going to be my philosophy for a lot of characters. I kind of want to hold on to my gear 19 gear for a little bit, just in case we may need them for the higher level raids, just to get sim through a little bit easier. The new raids are going to be coming out. They were just announced today, the Orcus raids, so we'll see how that plays out. I'm just kind of holding. You know, I might want to upgrade some of my DD8 characters, because even though they don't require gear, it may be easier to get through with some gear 19 characters that I only have at gear 18, but I'll have purple ISO on. So as far as that goes, yeah, I'd say level 100 gear 18 is just fine on him. I don't think you need 19 for him to be a really good character for you. I did notice in the testing he did have a little bit less health. So if we look here, he's at 4.4 million health. He seemed to be the squishiest of everyone. And so that's something you may want to consider when you're doing positioning too. You might want to have him on an end, one of the end spots, so that he survives. But other than that, hope y'all are liking this series of videos that I've been doing. If you do, please let me know down in the comments. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do that too. And until next time, make sure you spend those resources wisely, and we will catch you in the next one.